How to enrich life in old age. 5 tips to be a happy empty nest couple. When children grow up and leave home, leaving an empty nest. How should parents deal with the loneliness? The 2 children of Chen Yin and his wife Su Fei went abroad to study very early and stayed abroad. The couple has lived in an empty nest period for 40 years now. The 2 remain active in retirement and share common interests, so they won't feel lonely. As a parent, you must always be prepared to face the empty nest period when your children grow up and leave you. For middle-aged parents who usually focus on work and have few hobbies after work, it was a real test. We were new parents, and we will be new empty nest parents. When children grow up and leave home, leaving behind an empty nest. How do parents deal with the loneliness? 1. Respect the child's choice of studying in the United States. For Chen Yin, 88 years old, he and his wife Su Fei, 88 years old, have been married for 62 years. Their empty nest period seems to have come earlier than ordinary parents. He has a son and a daughter aged 61 and 59 respectively, both of whom are currently in the United States. The son is a chartered accountant and has been living in the United States since getting married. The daughter is a doctor and also works in the United States, but is still single. Chen Yin is the former assistant general manager of Bank of China in Singapore and is currently a marriage oath official. His wife was a primary school principal before she retired. He said, "Actually, we have started this kind of empty nest period life very early. Our son and daughter went abroad to study at university when they were 21 and 20 years old respectively. After they found jobs and settled down there, we have no plans to return to China. We have not expressed a strong desire for them to return to New Zealand to stay with us. Children should have their own world and we respect their choices. They have been living as an empty nest for 40 years. My son only comes back once every few years due to work, and my daughter comes back every year except for the first year during the coronavirus period. Chen Yin and his wife visit their children once every 2 years and take vacations together. Chen Yin's only regret is that his son and daughter-in-law are still weak, and because his daughter is unmarried, the 2 elders have no chance to entertain their grandson. He revealed, "We originally lived in a single-story private house. Later, we hoped that our son would come back to live with us after studying abroad and getting married. So we changed to a 2-story house. Now the 2 of us live in it." He and his wife retired in 1995 and 1993 respectively, and have remained active in retirement for nearly 30 years. Chen Yin said, "When I was young, I didn't think about the problem of aging an empty nest. At that time, we were busy with work, but we all had the same hobbies, such as dancing and singing. After we retired, we often danced ballroom dance, cha-cha dance, rumba, etc. At the craziest time, I danced in clubs and liaison offices at least 5 days a week. I also participated in the Yunye choir and occasionally performed in amateur performances. About 20 years ago, they also joined the Singapore Senior Volunteer Organization RSVP Singapore and were responsible for recommending some suitable learning projects, supervising students' homework and tutoring work. He described life as wonderful, so he did not particularly feel the loneliness of the empty nest period. He emphasized that couples must have common interests. So even if the children are no longer around or after retirement, life will not change much. People are afraid of loneliness and isolation, especially the elderly, who are considered happy empty nest couples. In order to improve their singing skills, they also learned from singing teachers. After the outbreak of the COVID-19 epidemic, amateur singing was also suspended. As for dancing, he said his joints are not very good and some dance steps are difficult to complete. 2. Both husband and wife are the marriage oath takers. Starting in 2006, Chen Yin and his wife were invited by the Marriage Registration Bureau to become voluntary marriage oath takers. According to the website of the Marriage Registration Bureau, Chen Yin is one of the popular candidates for marriage oath-taking officers for prospective couples. During the peak wedding season, more than 30 couples are held marriage oath-taking ceremonies every month. During the off-season, there are about 3 to 5 invitations per month. They felt that they could feel the happiness and love of marriage again from these young newlyweds, and it also made him and his wife cherish each other's feelings even more. The 2 will celebrate their 62nd wedding anniversary next month. It is a journey full of sweet memories. Even though their children are not around, They are comforted by the warmth of many relatives and friends. Zhu Fei said that their pace has not stopped over the years, and their life has remained active. How to maintain the relationship between husband and wife. She believes that after taking the oath of marriage, the couple no longer acts like they were in love, but enters into real life and plans a family together. They firmly believe that the keys to maintaining a relationship between husband and wife must be love, care, respect, tolerance, kindness, and loyalty. In his free time, Chen Yin grows flowers and vegetables in his yard. Now, every morning I go for a walk in the park with an old friend I met when I was young. He pointed out that many of his old friends are no longer here, and he cherishes maintaining these emotions even more. 3. You cannot wait for your children to leave the nest before planning your later life. Yuan Fengshu, a senior local counselor, pointed out that empty nest families cannot enjoy the family happiness of the big family in the past and are prone to loneliness. If the elderly often think about the past and rarely communicate with others, they will easily fall into feelings of loss and pessimism, and feel that life has lost its meaning. 4. Lack of love or suffering from empty nest syndrome. If you are in good health and can take care of yourself, once you get sick and your children are not around, your life will be inconvenient and you will easily develop empty nest syndrome, which can cause depression, anxiety, hypochondriasis, obsessive compulsiveness, melancholy, isolation, loneliness, withdrawal, and other symptoms. They have doubts about the value of their own existence and fall into a state of desirelessness, hopelessness, helplessness, and boredom. In serious cases, self-injury and suicide may occur, or even Alzheimer's disease. Yuan Fengju pointed out that judging from counseling cases, the core cause of empty nest syndrome is generally a lack of love. Love is an integral part of the quality of life. Lack of love affects the physical and mental health of empty nesters and lowers their quality of life. She suggested that parents should learn to let go when their children are 12 years old, and train their children to learn to be independent more quickly and move toward independent living. Couples can be more active in cultivating their children in their old age. You can't wait until your children get married and leave the nest before planning your later life. Yuan Fengju said, even if the children are not around, the life of the elderly can still be wonderful. The nest is empty, but as long as the heart is not empty, life will have color. After retirement, you can still have a notepad and schedule. Not only will your time not be wasted, but you will also be able to live a meaningful life, and people will not be easily depressed. Empty nest couples can join a volunteer team like Chen Yin and his wife, participate in group life, learn computers, art, writing, exercise regularly, and if their financial resources permit, they can travel with a group of old friends or travel long distances, get in touch with different worlds, and keep up with the times. Life continues to be fulfilling. Some elderly men usually do less housework and take care of their grandchildren. They spend most of their time in coffee shops chatting with others, scrolling on their mobile phones, and watching TV. As time goes by, they tend to become decadent and will be looked down upon by their family members. Those who have children and grandchildren should keep in touch frequently, take the initiative to care for them, and let them get used to interacting with their elders in various ways. 5. Learn to rekindle love. Yuan Fengshu said that young couples come to keep company when they are old, and empty nest couples can learn to rekindle their love, manage their relationship, and return to the love and dating life of their youth, such as walking, shopping, attending courses, etc., to make the relationship of elderly couples more stable and stable. Rapport. She reminded couples that when they first get married, they must work hard to harmonize their personalities and living habits. Before middle age, they should not only focus on work and children, but also carefully manage each other's feelings, cultivate common interests, and build a communication model of mutual understanding. During the empty nest period, there won't be much friction and conflict.
Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.